that I could become the millionaire version of myself. I did $18 million in revenue in under 2 years. Has this last 5 years been all rainbows and sunshine? No, it has not. 2022 was the hardest year of my life since being in this work. I experienced a separation of my marriage, a deterioration of my team, and an emergency lung surgery from all the repressed grief that I didn't allow myself to feel in those moments. But what I can tell you about this contrast, about that year in my life, is that it has prepared me for the woman that is sitting here in front of you today. I've received multiple awards and accolades and trips and accomplishments, but these are not the things that make me so fulfilled. These are not the things that make me so happy. Those things that actually bring me true peace, true love, true joy into my life are the connections that I have with myself and with others, my ability to serve people through this work, and to step into the real version of me that lies within. We have people who have made millions and millions of dollars. We have people who have quantum leaped their life, who have manifested awards and accolades and #1 best-selling books. We have people that are making a significant difference in this world because they're choosing to become an elevated version of them. The biggest thing that I can tell you right now, and the biggest learning from this journey, is please do not underestimate yourself. Please dream bigger and choose grander. And I want to say thank you for joining me, for choosing you, and for allowing me to be the vessel that guides you towards the light that you are being drawn to in this moment. Only love and gratitude. Kathleen.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Tootie. You are always so lovely to me, Tootie. Let me just get I have to see all of your faces right now. I just see myself, and I want to see all of these gorgeous faces. Okay, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a really, really beautiful and really exciting time because we have entered into the year of the fire horse. So happy Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year. I am so grateful that we have an opportunity now to really show up powerfully, and we're so supported. We're so supported to do this, especially right now. So there is so much safety in choosing to leave comfort and to actually move into greatness, right? So we can stay in the good or we can move into the great, but you've got to say goodbye to the good in order to allow the great to come into your life. So I wanted to do a very, very powerful event for the fire horse energy, something that would match its calibration, something that would be energetically very, very powerful for all of you. So we're going to do something a little bit different these next 2 days. It's the same me, but I'm different. But I'm also, I have a different intention for this live event. For this live event, we're calling it a frequency immersion. And the reason I'm calling it a frequency immersion is because I really, really want you to be able to immerse yourself into the $1 billion frequency. And if the $1 billion thing is too big for you, too out there, who cares? Go to $1 million, whatever. But it's a frequency, it's a feeling. And so what I really, really want you to do is to be able to tap into it, to be able to feel it for yourself, to take it on, to allow yourself to energetically calibrate up to a new idea. And so I am operating from a different frequency than I ever did before. It's a very, very powerful frequency. I have become masterful in the ability to raise my vibrational state, to elevate my identity, and to call in circumstances into my life that now match the new frequency. So I want to give you an opportunity over these next 2 days to calibrate with me, calibrate up to me, and then also be able to hold that once we leave the live event, so that you don't require me to sit here and be here with you, where you can actually do that yourself. Am I someone that has finished learning and finished growing? Absolutely not. It is a way of being now. It is a way of life for me to always want to expand, always want to elevate, and always want to grow, and always get more uncomfortable. So just take that as a little note. You're never done, you're never finished, and we just keep getting this beautiful opportunity to rise. How wonderful. So welcome everybody to Billion Dollar Frequency. We will be here for 2 days. So today we will be here for 2 hours, tomorrow we will be here for 2 hours. I have a lot that I want to go over, a lot I want to talk about. So I'm really going to make sure that it's clean and crisp for you, so it's very, very clear on what it is that we're doing. But I don't want you to walk away with pages full of notes. That's not what I want. I want you to walk away feeling different. Okay? So I want you to notice the things that I'm saying. I want you to notice what feels good in your body, what feels good in your heart, what connects with you, right? I want you to notice the moments where you're like, "Oh, I love what she just said," or, "Oh, yes, that idea resonates with me." That's what I want you to do. I want you to tap into the feeling of the truth and allow that truth to be what you get from this. If you are so busy taking pages and pages and pages of notes, trying to get every word down of what I've said, you will miss the feeling. So take your notes. Yes, be selective about what notes you take. Only take notes on the things that are fully resonating, those things that are hitting you like right in the heart. Those things are like aha, true moments. I want you to take those and I want you to take notes about those. But more importantly, I want you to feel what it feels like to be on a new frequency. So my goal is to get you to do that. I have a little bit of homework I'm going to give you at the end too, to really take that feeling further, and hold it for the rest of the day. So stay tuned for homework at the end. I'm also going to be giving away for someone that was live on these 2 days. I'm also going to be giving away what we're calling a frequency reset. A business frequency reset. So for one person that's live, you can be on the Zoom or on the YouTube stream, that's okay. I'm going to give away a session with me where I'm actually going to sit with you and we're going to look at what your current frequency is that you're operating on. So I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to get you to speak to me and tell me, and you got to be really, really honest. And then what we'll do from there is I'll give you tips, advice, consciousness awareness, stuff like that to help you elevate so that you can shift into your life. So that will be for one person who is on live both days. And I do this because I really, really want you to get the most out of this live event. And so the reason why I'm giving away something for someone that comes for 2 days is because the individuals that come on live for 2 days will get the most out of this live event. It's inevitable. So I'm just giving you a reason to come back, because what happens is the version of you that is comfortable, that is safe, that is so ingrained in their life right now today is going to come up with a reason or excuse not to come for day two. Oh, I'm too busy, or oh, I've got this going on, or oh, this came up. I'll watch the replay. I'll do it later. But let me tell you, the version of me who achieves the most over this past 6 years is the one that does not put anything off, the one that acts in the present moment, the one that is disciplined and committed. I am not interested. I'm committed. That is two totally different ways of being, right? To be interested in something is like, okay, it's convenient, I'll do it. But if you're committed to something, you make a way, you find a way. You're committed, right? And to show commitment, it tells the universe something. What does it tell the universe? You can trust me. I got this. I'm here. This is what I want. So stay true to that commitment of yourself. So anyway, we will do that. Tomorrow I will give that away at the end of the call. Sound good? Okay, so in terms of this live event, it will stay on the YouTube channel forever. So we're not going to take it down. We're not going to remove it. We will leave it up there. So that means you can go back and watch it as many times as you would like. Many people will watch things 2 to 3 times. That's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. It helps you with the reprogramming of the subconscious mind, clarify ideas. Every time you watch it, you'll be a different version of you, so you'll hear a different message. To watch the replays, incredible, amazing. Yes, please go and do that. But what I don't want you to do is continue to sit and watch the replays and watch the replays and watch the replays and hang out on the YouTube channel and hang out on the YouTube channel. I want you to take action. I want you to move forward. So I don't just do live events. I have a whole coaching academy and a community of individuals where we help people rise and flourish and step into their greatness. So just notice what you're noticing about being a YouTube consumer versus somebody that goes that extra step and says, okay, you know what? I'm going to sign up for a paid program or course. You know what? I'm going to join Kathleen's inner circle. You know what? I'm going to join a community now. So this is where I want you to take that step further as well and move yourself into the next stage of your growth. And I have a couple of things right now that are pretty incredible that we're going to tell you about tomorrow. So stay tuned. I have something new that I'm going to be doing and new that I'm going to be offering, and I will tell you about that tomorrow. So stay tuned. In the event, though, that you have questions about anything to do with this work right now, if you have any questions about the replays or your emails, or you do want to talk to the team about options now, I have a beautiful team of individuals that are supporting me here. If you guys want to raise your hands, please, my team members, you'll notice they all have beautiful backgrounds, Diamond Academy emails. They are all members of my inner world, and they have all taken courses from me, learned from me, and they're family to me now. Every single one of these individuals are family to me now. So these are the people that would be reaching out to you. We have had other individuals say that they are part of the team or send emails out, but everyone that will reach out to you will have a Diamond Academy email, and they would be on this live event with me right now. So just for authenticity purposes, this is who would reach out to you. Okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Jen, do you think that we could put the link for anybody that desires to speak to a team member? Can you put it into the chat for anyone right now? Okay, look, Jen's already on it before I even said anything. She's so good. I have the best team. Anyway, so Jen Perman is running the back end of this live event, and Casey Tilker is also running the back end of this live event. They support me on these. We are such a good team. These events, they move without a hitch now, and we're so grateful. So say hello to that beautiful members of my team too that you can't see. So, the first thing that I really, really want to get into is why we named it $1 billion frequency, what a frequency is. I'm going to give you some background there. But the way in which I'm going to talk about this immersion over the next 3 days is I'm going to share with you actually my personal process of how I do the personal growth and development work, but the order with which I pay attention to it and the order with which I move the energy. Okay. So I really, really understand and am very, very aware that there is a certain order to manifestation. And there's a certain order to your understanding. There's a certain order in tapping into your power, your potentiality, and there's a certain order with which we want to do things. So today, I want to make sure we're clear on what that order is. So I'm going to guide you through that order today. And the order is spirit first, source first, spirituality first. We go high. We go high to then come back down, right? So we're going to go high. We're going to go up into spirit. We're going to go into our oneness. We're going to recognize source energy and we're going to guide and direct source energy. Then we come down into the intellectual mind, right? So this is our thinking. These are our belief systems. This is what's going on in here. Because what's going on in here is driving the show. It's moving the energy. It's guiding and directing source energy. Then we move down into the action and the movement piece, the embodiment piece. So we start high. We go up into our spiritual essence. We recognize the truth of who we are. We tap into our oneness. We come back into the mind. We say, okay, what are the beliefs here that I believe? What is showing up for me? What is the underlying patterning and programming that's running? Let's change it. And then let's move into the action piece. Okay, now what action do I need to take that's differently? That comes from the new beliefs that is powered and fueled by source energy. Make sense? Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about before I really get into spirit and how this works and how I tap into it, I want to explain what $1 billion frequency is and what it means to calibrate to a frequency. Somebody asked in the chat, how do I know your frequency? Well, based on what you tell me. Okay? So when you describe your present reality, when you describe it, so when I sit here and I say, okay, you know what? Life is so good. I love every moment of my days. I wake up in the morning and I walk that beach with so much love and gratitude. And I get to spend the time here with my daughters. And I make money as I'm sleeping. I wake up and money has come into the bank account. My bank account is always full. I'm always provided for. I have a house in Canada. I have a house here in Malibu, which is where I am right now, even though it's raining, but it's still stunningly beautiful. At least it's not frozen water. Uh, like in Canada with the snow. So I'm grateful. But can you see what I'm describing to you? I'm describing to you the frequency of vibration with which I'm operating on. I'm describing my observed world, but I'm also describing to you how I feel in it, what my life is like, the frequency that I'm holding every single day, and what it feels like to be me, right? So when I get onto a call with you, I will ask you, so tell me about your life. Tell me what it feels like to be you. And in your honesty is where it tells me your frequency. If you sit and tell me and you're like, you know what, I actually really love myself. I'm an amazing person and money flows to me easily and I love money and money loves me and I'm really confident and yada 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 yada. And then I'm like, oh, okay, so tell me about your business. Is it growing? And you're like, well, no, I haven't actually done anything in my business in 6 months. It's stale. And I'm like, really? So all of that you told me about loving yourself and confident and money loves you and all that, is that really true? Is that it? That's not what you truly believe. Because why wouldn't you do something in your business for 6 months, right? Why wouldn't you show up in that way? So this is where we have to understand that where we are existing right now is a frequency of vibration. Okay. So frequencies of vibrations are just different timelines that you can hop onto. And this isn't about mood, right? So, a raise in vibration related to mood is to go from sad to happy. Okay, I was sad an hour ago. I'm happy today. That's a mood shift. That's a mood swing, right? But a true raise in frequency is to go from someone who's operating in lack and limitation to someone who's operating in prosperity and abundance. It's someone who believes that they're unhealthy who now decides to believe that they're healthy, right? So it's different. It's not just about mood. It's actually about identity. It's your underlying belief systems. It's the way that you move and walk out in the world. Women are allowed to have mood swings, and don't we have them? But guess what? So do men. It's just more subtle. That's all. Is there men on the call today? If there is men on the call today, I welcome you. I welcome you. I welcome you. What we found actually with the $1 billion frequency is we had more male enrollments come into this live event. And so what I love so much is because you know what? Men think big. They do. Men like to think real big. And I love that so much. So we have a men's millionaire program that we run right now, actually. And on Tuesdays, we have men's embodiment sessions where it's a group of men that are together. It's hosted by Kieran on my team. Chris is on there. My dad is on there. So if you are a male that has come into this energy, we have the perfect place for you to elevate. So welcome. We're so grateful to have you. We're not just for women. We have a lot of females that follow because I'm female, but we welcome all gender iterations and identifications. However you want to see yourself, we welcome you into our world. The other thing I will say too with that about welcoming you into our world, we are very spiritual here at Diamond Academy. And what that means is we transcend all religions, which means we include and incorporate all religious beliefs. So we actually don't follow one religion. We actually encompass any spiritual belief that you may have. So if you identify as being spiritual, amazing. If you identify as being Catholic, amazing. If you identify as Presbyterian, amazing. Jewish, amazing. For us, it's about helping you to tap into your power within your belief structure. And so, what you will notice is the way I speak about God, the way I speak about source energy, it's all encompassing, it's not restrictive, and it's not limiting. So, I want you to be able to hear me from the lens of whatever belief system that you hold, but in the intention and clarity of your own personal power and how you can tap into that personal power. So, if you're listening today and the God word doesn't resonate with you, doesn't matter. change it to a different word. And if you are here and the God word resonates with you, amazing. So we're here to support one another no matter what our belief systems are. We're all accepting, all encompassing, and a beautiful, beautiful community. So yeah, the God of your understanding. Yeah, beautiful. The other thing about the $1 billion frequency that I want to say too is that this call and this idea is actually an invitation for you, right? So it's an invitation for you to call yourself up to a different level in your life, right? So I can honestly say to you today that like I am winning in all areas of my life. Even when I'm in the contrast and it appears that things are falling apart, I'm actually winning. Like I'm actually moving and growing and calling in something new into my life, which is really beautiful. So this is an invitation for you to win too, to be a person who, no matter what, is always winning, to be a person that is always on the receiving end of all the good that God has to offer, right? And in order for you to do that, you have to be an open channel to be able to receive all the wins, all the good, all the greatness that God has to deliver to you. If you want the good that the world offers, you have to offer the world the good, right? Of you. You have to be your best and then you get the best. So, those of us that are operating in lack and limitation, who are not in our authenticity, who are living a life that maybe is out of integrity, you are going to call into your experience things out of integrity. You're going to call into your life opportunities that don't match all the good that the world has to offer. So we really want to move this energy through authenticity, the power of authenticity, and to be in integrity. What does it mean to be in integrity? If I'm in integrity with my best self, do I sit around here all day eating junk food, watching TV, avoiding my business, avoiding my life, avoiding my emotions, and just like numbing myself out? Drinking a couple bottles of wine? No, I'm not in integrity with the best of myself. To be in integrity with the best of myself is to wake up in the morning, go for a walk, get to that gym, drink water, get a good night's sleep, read a personal growth and development book, be on a live event here with Kathleen Cameron, right? Eat nutritious and healthy food, pour into our children about the God's power and God's love. Teach others to love themselves, to love ourselves fully. That is to be in integrity with the best of yourself, right? Be your authentic self, my pillar number 2, and very attractive. Love date forever. I love that so much. I love your title. The other thing I want you to consider too is what if this is the moment that you were in fact created for? I just want to plant that idea in your mind. What if this is the moment that you were created for? What if this is the pivotal moment where your transformation begins? What if this is the day that you decide? What if you are being called? This is an invitation, but by whom? Who is inviting you to rise? Who is inviting you to win? Who is inviting you to become your best? Is it just your own little mind in here? Or is there a far greater power, an ascended power that is looking at you right now and has said, you're ready? You're ready now. Not tomorrow, not in a month, not in 6 months, but you're ready now. That little version of you that's in there that says, well, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough education, I'm too old, I don't have anybody to support me or help me. That version of you isn't your highest and best self. That version of you is the limited self that over time has learned that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy enough, that there's a reason for you to stay small. What I'm going to do is I'm going to convince you that all of that is crap, right? None of that is true. It is something that you have fallen for. They're beliefs that you have decided are true and you've been living from it, and it makes your life really hard because then you're trying to fight it. But once you realize that that's not true, that that's not reality, that like your highest and best self, your grand self, has no fears, is unstoppable, gets an intuitive hit, acts on it in a moment, knows that by thinking of a thing, you create that thing. By moving in faith, you create that thing with which you have faith in. Faith is, it's like this powerful, energetic, creative mechanism, right? So when I have faith in something, I don't even have to do anything. I just have faith in it. I say, you know what? I have faith that this is done. This is taken care of. The outcome is what I asked it to be. Thank you, God, for showing me that this problem is already solved. When I go to that place, guess what? I create that outcome. But what resists the outcome is, oh no, it doesn't look like this is going to happen. Oh no, I'm afraid this might not happen. Oh no, what can I do to make this happen? Not faith, fear. Fear-based patterning and programming. So I'm going to talk about what it means to live in fear when we start talking about the intellectual mind, because the fear idea only exists in one place, right? In your mind. It's not like walking around outside of you, right? Because if it was something that was impacting us every single day from outside of us, everyone would be inflicted with fear. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. No way. It's so interesting, right? I actually faced mortality, actually, my mortality in 2022 when I was in the hospital with lung surgery, having had my emergency lung surgery. I'm sitting there in the emergency room, and the guy comes in and they send me for a CT scan. And he's like, okay, we're going to tell you what we do. Maybe we're just going to drain the lung a little bit. It's a little collapsed. We just need to reinflate it a little bit, a minor procedure. Everything will be fine, and we'll come back and tell you. Okay, they'll tell me when they're going to take me. About 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, I get five surgeons walk into the room, five of them. And they're like, okay, well, we have some news. We got to take you for lung surgery. We have to do it right now. The lung is completely collapsed. It's the size of a coin. It was this big. My right lung was this big. And it's completely entrapped by infection. Four empyemas. If anybody's in the medical world, you will know that that's not good. Completely trapped in my lungs. So the only thing that they could do is to operate, emergency surgery. And they said, but not only that, your organs are all shutting down. You're in a state of sepsis. Things are not looking good. So they took me to the ICU, waited until the surgery the next morning, and I had that surgery within 24 hours. And you know what saved me? God saved me. Yeah. I have this beautiful, incredible video of me on the beach in the Bahamas. And I'm standing there next to this fire. We were doing a release ceremony at my retreat. And I have this beautiful video of angel wings, green angel wings, flying around me while I'm next to the fire. And somebody sent that to me moments before I rolled into surgery. I had my little cap on and the mask and the gown, and somebody sent me that. And I knew Archangel Raphael was present with me on the beach the night before, and I knew that I was going to be okay. And so I'm saying this to say, like, I no longer have a fear of losing my life, my humanity. Why? Why am I no longer afraid? Because I understand I'm eternal. The truth of who I am, the energetic substance, the soul, it lives on. What goes away, what leaves, what stops working, what disintegrates is humanity. That's it. But the truth of who I am, it does not face death, right? So I don't fear much. And sometimes if I fear things, they're really tiny, inconsequential things that really don't even matter. And I'm very aware that they're my human from past patterning and past programming. And I can look to her and soothe her and give her love and remind her that she's empowered, right? This is this work. So it's not to say it never comes up, but it's to say that I'm aware of when it comes up. So perhaps this is the moment that you were created for. Perhaps this is a moment where you are being invited, you are being called, you are being ordained up into an elevated version of yourself to be able to help humanity. Humanity right now is in chaos. We are in chaos. So what does humanity need right now? It needs more light workers. It needs more people who are thinking from a loving perspective. It needs more people who are creating peaceful interactions amongst one another. It requires individuals that are operating on the collaborative plane and not the competitive plane. It requires more people that are bold enough to be authentic, people that are bold enough to create change out in our world. It requires individuals that are willing to step outside of the box of what we've always learned, which is war, conflict, disintegration. So every single one of you on this call, we have like 900 on here. There's going to be more over on the YouTube channel. Wow, isn't this amazing now that the collective consciousness of thousands of people that are on this event that'll watch the replay are rising in its frequency to tap into their source energy, their God energy, and to transmute it and to transmit it out. And so those thousands of people now that are listening to this message that are being called to the greater collective ascension and elevation then impact 100 people closest to them. And then if you go and you post on your social media in front of all your social media platforms and you speak on this idea, what are we doing? We're changing humanity. We're changing the direction. One enlightened individual has a far greater impact tenfold than someone living in fear-based patterning and programming and disintegration. 10 times more powerful. The light drowns out the dark. How do we get it to no longer be dark outside? We turn on the lights. And this is what I'm asking you all to do, is to turn on your lights. Realize that this is the moment that you are being called to a greater frequency. So I talk to you about billions of dollars. I talk to you about millions of dollars. I talk to you about abundance and prosperity. But the real truth that what I'm talking about is about ascension. It's about tapping into your full potentiality. When you tap into your full potentiality, your full God essence, the truth of who you really are, when you allow that to be real, you will make more money. You will have more happiness in your life. You will be in a peaceful state. Your loving relationships will grow. Your health will improve. Because your potentiality, the truth of who you are, is not driven by what you have, but who you are being. Shannon Beardsmore, who is the beautiful facilitator of our House of Manifestation, she always talks to me about being a lighthouse. She always says, Kathleen, you're my lighthouse, right? And so what do lighthouses do? They stand firm in one place and they make their light as bright as it possibly can be so that others can find them. And that's what I want all of you to do. I really, really want every single one of you to stand firm in the truth and the knowing of who you are, be grounded, and just make your light as bright as it possibly can be. Yeah. So this is the moment you're being called for. So I'm going to talk about billion-dollar frequency. I'm going to get you to raise up, and I'm going to tell you the ways in which you do that, how you tap into your power, how you rise onto the new frequency, and then what you need to do to maintain that frequency. So we're not going to go up to the frequency for a week and then go back, right? How many times have you made money, circulated it, and then never made that amount of money again? How many times have you released weight off your body, become really, really healthy, and then you put it all back on again? How many times have you had your autoimmune illness become incredible and go into remission, and then a couple months later, you're back? Symptoms are showing up again. How many times have you had a beautiful, loving relationship with your husband or with your wife, and then bam, we have another fight and we're back down to disintegration and chaos? So this is the human experience, right? Is where we will always land where we believe we are worthy of landing. And I don't want you to believe that you're worthy of landing with fights and gossip and venting and complaining and stress and overwhelm and frustration and fear. I want you to land in a place where you look around yourself and you're like, oh, how did I get here? I love this place and I want to stay here as long as I can, right? The other thing I want to make super, super clear, and this is so important, is the universe, source energy, God, rises to meet you where you choose to rise to, right? People in your life will rise to meet you. Everyone around you rises to meet you, right? So does God have a vision and a mission and a purpose for all of us? Yeah. And it's big and it's bright and it's magical and it's powerful and it impacts humanity in a beautiful way. But we have been given the free will to choose which frequency we land on. So, does God have a vision for somebody to enter into a life of crime and end up in prison for 30 years? Is that their path they're meant to take? No. That's the path their free will chose to take. And God just meets you where you're at. So God will still be there. God says, yes, I'm here. You can talk to me, come to me anytime. I'm going to love you regardless. But if you choose to live in that place, we can't we can't do anything about it. It's your free will. That is something that God gave us as our free will. And so I'm talking to you all today about your free will and what you're actually choosing and how we can change that and how we can use our free will to change. And then guess what? Source energy rises to meet you. The world rises to meet you. Reality bends to meet you. And that is the power of manifestation. Make sense? Okay. I'm also going to interview today Kim Daly. And Kim is a magical woman. She is a one-on-one client of mine. She's in my inner circle. And her and I have had some incredible realizations about embodiment. And I want her to share that with you today. So stay tuned. That's probably going to be in maybe 20 minutes, I think. I think in about 20 minutes. Okay. So I also want to make it clear that for me, I understand what I'm meant to do. And I understand that I'm meant to rise. And every single time that I rise, it gives other people permission to rise. It gives other people a pathway to rise. And everybody will meet me up to that place. But not everyone will do this. Not everyone will rise, right? And the reason that I'm telling you this is because it's going to take a certain type of person that is going to be bold enough, brave enough, daring enough to calibrate up. And you're going to have to look yourself in the mirror and be really, really honest about where are you holding yourself back? Where are you staying comfortable? Where are you staying in the old thinking patterns? Where are you accepting less than what you know you're worthy of? Where are you self-abandoning? I had to do this past month. I have just spent a month releasing myself from the constraints of my own self-imposed prison that I was in. I had chose a pathway in my life that at one point matched my calibration. But as you start to rise and you start to calibrate up, you start to become aware. And once you have awareness, you can never go back. And so this is where I took a different path. This is where I've chose to allow more for my life, to hold a greater standard for my life, and to realize the moments where I self-abandon, where I do things that are for other people and not for myself, where I do things that are out of alignment with my truth and my reality. If you find that you're spending time with people and you're not your true self when you're with them, you're self-abandoning. You're becoming someone else to what? To make them feel better? To make you feel comfortable? So this is where you've got to notice, who do you spend your time with where you feel like your elevated self? That's probably going to be around me, to be quite honest. In our community, in our energy, you're going to be like feeling like really good. It's easy to be yourself because we're holding you up there. But when you're with other people, where do you say things that you wouldn't normally say? Where do you believe in things you wouldn't normally believe in? Where are you modifying? Where do you feel like you have to wear something different or wear your different makeup or make your hair look different? Where can you just not be yourself? Right? Where can you show up knowing that who you are is worthy? Right? Where do you think you have to earn somebody's love? I have this beautiful, beautiful new statement, and I already believe it's true. And I didn't believe it a month ago. But I am loved for simply being myself. And it's not that the outside world was telling me anything different. It's that somewhere inside me, I believed that I needed to earn it, right? I needed to do more and give this, go here, do this to earn people loving me, But what if you just show up as yourself every day? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to give anything. You don't have to serve anyone. You don't have to do anything outside of the box. You can just sit there and be yourself and you're loved. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Because that's how I love people. Like, I literally love people for just who they are. You don't have to do a thing for me. I don't care. But I had this feeling that I had to do all of these things for you to love me. And so, no, no more. I am loved for simply being myself. And you all are a beautiful, beautiful reflection of that for me. I have never received so much love in my life that I do on these live events, on my social media platforms, on the YouTube channel. It is all love. And all I do here is just be myself. I say what's on my heart. And you guys just love me for it. Isn't that beautiful? But I need to believe that in order for the world to believe that for me and for me to fully experience that. So, telling you right now, Kathleen Cameron, she is loved just for being herself, just as all of you should also feel that too. So, notice your relationships and what you're doing. It's beautiful. Okay, I want to go into um I want to go into spirit first, and I want to talk about what I mean by going high before we go back down. So now that we're sitting here and we're like, all right, I want to be on the $1 billion frequency. I want to experience abundance in my life, prosperity, time and financial freedom. I want to be happy most of the time. I want to be at peace. I want to sit here and say, oh my gosh, life is so good, isn't it? These are the conversations I have with people. They're like, how are you today? I'm like, oh, life is so good. Like, just to know and to feel that life is inherently so good and you are so grateful for every moment of it, every ounce of it. That's where I want you to all sit, right? So we're sitting here today, we're on this frequency, we want to go up to this one. So, what is the first thing that we need to do in order to move frequencies? The first thing that I always do is to go to spirituality first. Okay. So, I don't want to jump to, okay, what are the actions that I take? And okay, what do I believe? What can I do different? Like, I don't want to go to mindset. I don't want to go to discipline, and all that kind of stuff. Where I want to go first is I want to go to my spirituality because that is the truth of who and what we are. We are a spiritual being having a human experience. So if you go straight to your human, you're going to try to reprogram your human. So for me, for example, I have always been a beautiful, curvy, voluptuous, plus size woman. I've always carried a little extra something on my bones, right? And so the story that I would have told about this when I was younger was that I was overweight, I was fat, I was lazy, gluttonous, nobody liked me, I was manly, and I wanted to get skinny. I was broken. I needed to get skinny, right? So that version of me always went on these diets to change. So I would go on Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers, or I would do a ketogenic diet, or I would calorie count. So I immediately went to the human way of changing my physical body through action alone. Eat different food, starve myself, force myself to go to the gym. And then what would happen? I would lose 100 pounds. This is exactly me. Okay, Sherry, we're doing it differently. So I would lose the weight, 100 pounds would be gone. And then guess what? My human just went back to eating whatever the heck she wanted anytime, enjoying really, really sugary, high fat foods, not giving a crap about nutritious value of the food, no longer exercising, no longer even walking or moving my body in any way. And the 100 pounds came right back. So this is where if you're going to go in here and try to change your human, you're just forcing your human. We're not going to force nothing. We're going to have our human just do what our spirit and mind are telling it to do. So we're not going into the human right now. We're going up to the spirituality, to the spiritual perspective. So if we do believe that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, what does that change about us? What does that change about us? What do we do differently with that belief, right? That the truth of who we are is spiritual beings. that we are actually souls. We are actually an energy form, a mass, whatever you want to call it. It does not matter. But we're not our bodies. We are not the bodies that we are living in. We are simply living in them, right? So the way we look should not matter as much. How much weight we're carrying should not matter as much. How old we look should not matter as much. The color of our hair should not matter as much. Because what we fully understand is that we're living inside of this thing. We are not this thing. So when I go into my car and I drive my car, am I suddenly my car? No, I'm not a car now. I'm in a car. Right? So this is how I see it and how I can actually detach from a lot of this. Now, do I want to have the top of the line car? Do I want to have one that runs beautifully well and looks really good and has a really great interior? Yes, I do. But that's going to happen through our belief systems and all that kind of stuff. We're going to make sure that our vessel is functioning properly. So it does matter, but we're not it, is what I'm saying, right? So we want to make sure that we're taking care of this so it lasts us a really, really long time. But essentially, it helps us to not take so many things and make them so important. They're not important, right? How beautiful we are, how fit we are, how we look, if we have six pack abs or not, it doesn't really matter to our spiritual essence because our spiritual essence actually has no gender, it has no age, it has no race, right? So because I'm so connected to my spiritual essence, some things that used to matter to me, they don't matter to me anymore. And I've been able to just decondition myself away from those things. So, what do we call our soul, our spiritual essence? What would be two words that we use to describe the spiritual being that we are? Come on, put it in the chat. You know it. If you're on the YouTube channel, put it in the chat. It is the I am. It is the I am. Okay? So, to say I am means what? We are amming ourselves into manifestation. We are amming ourselves into our dream lives. We are amming ourselves into a really, really good life, right? And so the I am means that we are here. It is existence. It is awareness. To be or not to be, that is the question. So are you amming yourself into something? Or are you not? And this is the beautiful part. So in 2019, the catalyst for me becoming the woman that I am today, living this life that I'm living today, was when I tapped in, perceived, became aware of, believed in my higher spiritual essence. You can say I found God, whatever language you want to use. But I used to believe that I was my body. I used to believe that I was human walking around and life was taking me for a ride and there's nothing that I could do about it. I didn't like who I was and I didn't think that I could change her. And so I was in a prison of my own body, the prison of my own mind. And when I realized, oh my gosh, I have been wrong all along. I am actually a spiritual essence. I am a spiritual being. I simply exist. I am. How do you tap into your I am, to your spiritual essence? You all have it. You are all aware of it. How do you become aware of it? A beautiful, beautiful question, right? Lauren, I am the observer. Hold on. I am the observer and awareness of me. Okay. So me, Kathleen Cameron. Okay. So the woman that is in a body who is teaching on the live event right now, what is aware of her? What is aware of her? My oneness, my God essence, right? So my awareness of myself is my spiritual essence. So the spiritual being that exists within this body is aware of herself, right? It alone
doesn't have humanity, but when it combines with a human body, it now creates humanity, right? And so the awareness, the I am, is aware of its humanity. Let me give you a little example of how to become aware of this right now. Okay. So I want you to, in this moment right now, look around and just look at all the things around you and just notice what you see. Be like, okay, there's a door. Okay, there is some garbage on the floor over there that my kids left. Okay, there's a beautiful mug over there. The rest of my matcha I'm going to drink after this call. So see how I'm seeing through my human all the things around me. I give them names, I give judgments about them, I have thoughts about them. Okay, so this is, we observe through our human, through our five senses. We see it, we smell it, we taste it, we touch it, we hear it. Okay, now I want you to sit here, still looking at the screen here. Don't close your eyes, just stay looking at the screen. And I want you to be aware of your toes. Move your awareness to your toes. Don't look at your toes. I'm not asking you to look through your eyes. I'm not asking you to use your human to be aware of your toes. I want you to just be aware of your toes. Are they there? Do you have them? Do you know you have them without looking at them, without feeling them, without touching them? You know you have them. So that is your awareness without the five senses, right? What hears our thoughts? What hears our thoughts? Is it our mind hearing our thoughts, or is it our ears hearing our thoughts? No, it's our awareness hearing our thoughts, right? Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so that's one way of being aware of your I am. So I'm getting your human to now perceive its own awareness. Holy moly. This is wonderful, but I want to go further. Okay, I want to go further. I don't want to just be aware of my awareness. I want to perceive my oneness. So if I know that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, and I know that my spiritual essence, my soul, is connected to something greater, what is it connected into? If I'm drop of the ocean, if I'm one drop of the ocean, what's the ocean? If I'm one branch, I'm one network off of a supercomputer, what's the supercomputer? What is my awareness tapped into? Source. Yeah. What's source? What other words would you use to describe source? God. Yeah. Divine. I got divine tattooed on my hand here. I have tattoos everywhere, but I got the word divine tattooed on my hand here. And I got it so that the person looking at my hand from here can't read it. I read it from my perspective. Why did I do that? To remind myself of my divinity. For my human to look down and to see the word divine and go, oh, yes, that's right. So, my life now and what I do, and this is what I mean by going high first, right? Is I want to make sure that I am tapped in, tuned in, turned on to my power source every day, in every moment, in every way. The only way that the power gets turned off is when you turn your gaze away, when you turn your back to source. So think about a vacuum cleaner, right? So a vacuum cleaner, I can move it over the floor and I'll move the dirt around and like not plug it in. I can move the vacuum and it'll move it. But what happens when I plug the vacuum in and the power gets turned on? It does its job fully. So if you want to tap into the $1 billion frequency, you have to be plugged in. You have to be tuned in. You have to be turned on because that is where your power source exists. So when I say I'm powerful, I don't mean, oh, I just love myself and I believe that I'm powerful. No, no, no. I am actually plugged in. Yeah. My power source. I think about what's that movie? Iron Man, how he has that thing in his chest here. like the power source in his chest. I feel like that's our connection and our awareness of God, right? And listen, source energy, God energy, it can't be observed by our human. Our human is too limited for that. Our human mind can't perceive things. It can't see everything. It can't know everything. It has to believe that there's something else happening, right? God doesn't show itself. It does in ways for our human, if you'll see it, but it's not out there just visible for us all because it's outside of our perception. It's outside of our perception, right? So, what's so beautiful about the ability to then perceive your oneness is you get to choose how much God shows up for you in your life. You get to choose how aware you are to God's energy, to source, to the divine, to infinite intelligence, right? The quantum realm. You want to call it that too, whatever you want. But what I'm telling you is that there is a far greater power that you can tap into that takes you to a higher frequency almost immediately. You are not alone. We are co-creators in this universe. So we are co-creating with God. So if I am tapped into source energy, and I know that I'm a spiritual being, I am a drop of the ocean. I have got God's coursing through me. I call it my God essence because I feel like it's the God in me, right? And so when I tap into that and I feel it and I perceive it and I'm aware of it, and my human is like, there it is. How do I show up? Completely different. I show up empowered. I show up fearless, daring, unstoppable, absolute faith and certainty, and knowing that it's all working out in my favor, that I am that which I already seek to be. Right? There's no disconnection, there's no separation. What is the number one thing that puts our humanity into suffering? Separation. The idea of separation. Every single one of us on this call all have the God essence that are tapped into the higher source energy, which means we're all connected. So as I calibrate my frequency, my God essence, it goes back into the greater one. It influences every single one. So all of us here today are helping one another to elevate and rise by tapping into our source energy, feeling it, perceiving it, moving it, setting intention. Yeah, there is only one of us here, Sharada. I love that. We are just individuations of God energy, right? So we're individual iterations, unique different versions of one thing, right? What a beautiful thought. How does that feel in the body when you hear that? Does it feel like truth? Does it feel like love? Does it feel like joy? Does it feel like peace? Because when truth is operating in you, it feels like love, joy, peace. Yeah. So notice, this is what I'm telling you about the immersive feeling of what I'm teaching you. So you know what truth feels like now, right? So what is a non-truth that doesn't feel good? The idea that we're separate from, we're unsupported, we are not provided for, we have no personal agency. Things are happening for us. We can't control anything. Doesn't feel good. That feels rough. I don't like that. Not true. So all of those things, the wrong and small thoughts that all of us have bought into, all of us have believed, they don't feel good. Do they? You don't sit here and go, "Oh, you know what? I am not good enough for that, and that feels real good." No. So this is where we get the opportunity to be like, okay, this belief that I have that I'm not good enough, it really doesn't feel good in my body. It doesn't feel good in my consciousness. You know what? It's not true. So what if the feeling tells you whether it's true or not? Not what you believe, but the feeling of it. So then guess what? You wake up tomorrow morning and you have this thought to yourself and you're like, hey, wait a minute. I don't really like that thought though. That thought actually doesn't feel good. So you know what? That means it's not true. That means it's not true. I am noticing this beautiful thing in the chat and I want to speak to it because right now what's happening
is I'm having you all tap into the soul's knowledge, the soul's perspective, the soul's understanding, right? So everything I'm telling you right now, this is not something you all don't already know. Okay? It's all already existing within you. You're resonating with it because it's truth. So what's happening in the chat is we have people that are quoting different authors, different books, different ideas. Somebody saying, "Oh, that's Neville Goddard," and "Oh, that's Feeling is the Secret," and "Oh, that's," I think somebody said someone named Ramtha. I'm not sure who that is. Um, and so I get this all the time where people say to me, "Oh, Kathleen, like you just said something that is, oh, they told me an author. I can't remember the person's name now. So and so said it." And I'm like, "Okay, what's actually occurring is that what we know is the truth coming through the greater channel, right? So we can quote whoever. That's why if somebody wants to say something that I said and you want to take it on as your own, yes. You don't need to quote me. Quote God. Quote source, right? And so a lot of these people you say I'm saying the same things as, I've never read them. Some never even heard of them. So how do I know this? Because I have allowed my channel to be open to soul's knowledge. I had a beautiful call with Neale Donald Walsch. He is one of my favorite authors, of course, because he's so honest about the fact that he's speaking to God directly and all his awarenesses are coming from God. But anyway, I had a beautiful call with Neale Donald Walsch, and I said, "Neale, like this was 2, 3 years ago where I didn't fully understand what's happening." And I said to him, "Neale, I know things, but I don't know how I know them." And he goes, "Kathleen, you know how you know them." And I went, "Is it God?" He's like, "Mm-hmm." And the freedom that came from that, the freedom of just knowing something because it's truth. We don't need the intellectual mind to prove it. We don't need to find a quote in a book. We don't need to find a reference and put it on a reference list. We don't need to have some sort of proof, peer-reviewed journal article to say it's true. You just know it because you feel the truth of it in your body. That's it. Isn't that so freeing? Oh, guys, life is going to change when you tap into what you already know. It's beautiful. And that's where I want you to tap into what you already know about your human, what you already know about identity, what you already know about what action to take, right? But I can't show you that in your human without tapping you into spirit first, without the awareness and the knowing of your spiritual connection to the divine. So one thing that I do, and this might be helpful for you, and I'm just sharing it for your awareness, is I will sit and I will just visualize a beautiful bright light coming from source energy to and through me, and I will just feel that light warm me up. I'll feel the energy of the brightness fill my body, and then I will say, "I feel you. You are here." And I'm just becoming aware of myself, right? I'm just aware of myself. I'm aware of the spiritual essence and being of who I am. I am connected to the divine. Every time I see 111, what is that? It's a little God wink. That's it. And I've programmed my human to be aware of the 111, right? That's it. It's not that God is sitting up there. The source energy is going, "Okay, Kathleen's numbers is 111 and billionaire Bree's numbers are 222." It's a way in which we get our humans to be aware of and perceive their God essence within. So that's why I say, like, you can have as big of a relationship with God as you want to. It's entirely up to you. I just like walk around with God every day. It's like my best friend with me. Here we go, God, let's go. God is guiding and directing me in any and all ways, but I am going first and God is responding to me. The other piece that I want to make super, super clear, and the person that actually channeled this the best was Wayne Dyer. So Wayne Dyer talks about guiding and directing source energy through intention, right? So intention is not something that we do, right? It's not like I intend to do this. Intention is okay. So if I know that I have this God energy coursing to and through me, anything God can do, I can do, right?
I have the creative power and abilities within myself. So what am I going to do? Where am I directing it? Where am I guiding it? Through intention. So, $1 billion frequency, beautiful. It's an intention. I intend to use my God energy towards the idea of operating on $1 billion frequency. That's it. Beautiful. But you have to be aware that in every moment you're guiding and directing it. Every moment. So, in the moments when you're sitting there and you're about to make a big, bold, daring decision, you're about to step into your grandest version of you. You are going to do this thing. You're going to launch the business. You're going to take the course. You're going to join the mastermind. You're going to go back to school. You're going to say yes to this man that's asking you to marry him, whatever that is. You're about to do it. You're about to move forward. Okay, maybe you're about to break up with a man too, because that one's a little bit harder. I think saying yes is probably kind of easy, but you're going to break up with a man that you love very much that's not right for you, right? So the moment you're about to do that, it's your action that guides and direct it. So you don't start the business, you don't take the course, you don't join the mastermind, you don't break up with the man. You're guiding and directing source energy towards the means and the end of where you've always been. So most people are guiding and directing source energy to staying the same, to being in the same place. And God just says, yes. Oh, that's where we're going? Okay. Remember, I said God rises to meet you, but God also stays where you are if you desire to stay there. Remember the free will to choose. God will like tap you on the shoulder, he'll give you all the information, all the evidence, all the signs, and you can disregard them. Do you know how many times people are like, I got a sign, but I just need one more sign. I need a signier sign. Not me. I see one little sign and I'm like, oh, that's it. That's it. It's so beautiful. So you get to see whatever you want to see. You get to be whoever you want to be. Okay, let me see if Kim is on here now. I just got to ask the team. Hold on. Because I want her to share. Oh, she's here. Okay. Oh, she's on now. Okay. Let's bring up Kim Daly and we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful conversation with this incredible woman. Oh, there she is. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I am, well, I'm living in my purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. What I would love for you, I know that you've been on our events before, so you spoke before, so people maybe will remember Kim. If you haven't, just let them know kind of who you are, kind of what you do, and a little bit of your philosophy on,
Okay.
whatever
Okay.
you feel called.
Okay. So my name's Kim Daly, and I am a franchise consultant. That's how I would define myself professionally for the last 24 years. I've been helping people realize their dreams of business ownership by teaching them about franchise businesses and how to create a life they love, they're in control of, they can, build financial freedom from. All the while, I've been pursuing my own goals of what I call unemployable and financially free, all because of franchising as well. So a couple of years ago, I was called to personal development. I actually quantum leaped my business before I met Kathleen. I joined Kathleen 2 years ago, and I was asking her this morning, am I the only one in Inner Circle who repeated 2 years in a row? So I joined her Inner Circle from the very beginning because I was at a high level when I found her through YouTube. I had already quantum leaped my business. I grew my business by 350% in one 12-month period back in 2011. And there's just amazing awarenesses from that. Like the short story is I was a $250,000 a year kind of consultant for about 8 years. So I had a pretty good self identity of this $250,000 girl. And I decided $1 million sounded better. I know that it wasn't based in reality. I didn't know the laws and the embodiment of the work like I know today. So, good news is you don't have to know how it works to get it to work in your life. But I literally decided to think from $1 million. And when I sat with myself and thought from $1 million and thought about my business, I had new inspired ideas about actions to take that I didn't have when I showed up to perform as I had always performed for 250 for 8 years. And at the end of that year, I did $1,004,28. It was the most life-changing moment of my life because I knew that I had done it through thought alone. I affirmed to myself every day, I'm a $1 million performer. I defied all the things Kathleen teaches. I didn't know again back then, but I just intuitively was led to stay the course with these inspired ideas that I had. And so I did it. And miraculously, since that year, I never went back to a $250,000 a year. In fact, I've never gone below $1 million. I never worked harder. I never struggled. Everything I ever wanted in my consulting business came to me like that. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a different story in just a second. So I would think, okay, if I could make $1 million in a year, could I make $1 million in 6 months? And I would think it, and I made it happen the first time. So I did 2 million. A couple years later, could I do $1 million in a quarter? I would think it, and I made it happen. I did 800,000. We'll call it $1 million in the first quarter of the year. So I was thinking thoughts, new thoughts, embodying the owner of who that would be, never working harder, never changing lead sources, never learning new tactics. Like in time, my closing ratios and everything got better, but that's because of my confidence. It wasn't because I went back and like learned any new sales tactics or anything like that. My process and my systems never changed. And I was doing this during 2010 and 11 when the economy was horrendous. Through the pandemic, my business continued to grow when everybody around me was in the fetal position. And like, so all the things. So let me take you to the moment when I met Kathleen. So 2 years ago, I felt the calling to take what I had figured out, or so I thought I had figured it out at that point, and package it as a coaching model to share with the franchising industry. And that's how I found Kathleen. I was looking on YouTube for people that were teaching personal development, and I fell in love with her. I was probably one of the lucky people who watched a few videos, filled out a form, got a call from Jen, and next thing you know, I was wiring her money and I was in her inner circle. Now, I did that because I wanted to level up next to somebody who was doing what I wanted to do. But here's the craziest story that she would ask me to speak to you today, because this is happening in real time and she doesn't even freaking know of the huge awareness I've literally just had. She knows of the struggles I've had. Okay, so here's what happened. I called in the growth. I'm an 8-figure CEO. I am now a mindset and manifestation coach. I changed my affirmations. I changed my self-identity. I put it on my freaking license plate. I bought a new car, Daily CEO. That my last name's Daily, right? So everybody thinks it's like I'm the CEO of the Dailies, which is fine, the little double entendre. But no, to me, her 111, which is my 112 now because I love her so much. But that was my like outer signal. I am an 8-figure CEO. So for 2 years, people, I have been calling in a reality, and I have remained in the embodiment of a $2 million consultant. Now, Kathleen knows I have blamed lead sources, social media companies. I have like everything that used to ebb and flow with ease in consulting suddenly got so hard. Now, I know when it's hard, it's a sign I'm out of alignment. But when you're in it, you don't see your own hard. Right? She's telling me, you don't need another social media company, Kim. Get in your journal. And I'm doing the journaling, but I'm not getting it. It didn't click until this past weekend. I was laying in bed on Valentine's Day, and I was scrolling Instagram, and a lead funnel company caught my eye. I watched a couple videos. I reached out. By Sunday morning, I had an appointment with somebody. What the long and short is, I was trying to be that girl, comfortable in that role, who thought her business would grow that way, her new business, which I've never built an 8-figure business, but I was looking at it to come the way that it had always come over here because it was comfortable. And I wasn't willing to fully embody, even though I'm saying the things and doing the things, I wasn't willing. But what I actually saw was I had this like tower moment. Everything in my life has fallen away. Everything that I knew that worked so brilliantly. Like my social media company, the new one I just hired, they literally fired me. They fired me. And that was the wake up call. And so now I realize my external world has crumbled because it had to crumble, because it's no longer in alignment. I wake up every day as an 8-figure CEO, and that's become, so good news is, my dominant vibration is I'm an 8-figure CEO. My outer world doesn't show it yet, but you know what my outer world also doesn't show? The reality supporting me as a $2 million CEO. That's my story.
Yeah, this is so good. I had this intuitive thought just out of nowhere to get you on this event. I was
So
like, I
good.
got to get Kim on here, and you didn't tell me any of this.
I haven't told you
No, you
because
haven't told
it's
me
like
yet.
so in real
Yeah,
time.
yeah. But this is what somebody asked earlier on this call, though, Kim. Somebody asked the question, when I step into the new frequency of where I want to be, it feels like the opposite shows up. What's happening? Well, because the version of you that was on the old frequency, you're no longer it. You're now up onto this one. It has to go away. It has to leave,
But
right? And
even
so,
when it's so hard and the world is showing you how hard it is, we cling. We don't trust. Like,
yeah.
ask plus believe equals receive. And I tell my students, I circle belief. The work of our lives is this belief word.
Oh,
And here I am being the coach of it, helping other people make massive changes in their lives now. And I'm blinded by my own, until you're not.
yeah.
But it's all like in the perfect timing and all because I saw something on Instagram. It's not coincidence. That caught my eye and I went down the rabbit hole and then I saw the way that an 8-figure business would actually be built. The video literally said, scale from 0 to 8 figures. Coincidence?
No. Yeah, no, no, no. It's so good. But this is so good. And so we have to understand that the world that we live in is a contextual field. And so we will experience a life according to our belief system. And when we rise to a new belief, we call in for more. What will show up first is the opposite. So, for example, like how do I know that I love living at the beach? Because I experience living in the snow. Right? So if there was no snow, how would I know that I didn't like snow and that I prefer the beach and the sand and the sun, right? You wouldn't know. We're grateful for the light because we've experienced the darkness. So if any of you are experiencing those moments where it feels like you're in behind or it feels like it's falling apart or you feel like it's crumbling, it's an open door. Like we can celebrate it. Like Chris and I, Kim, it's so funny. We were both going through some contrast a few weeks ago, and I called him and I'm like, well, we're up leveling, baby, because the contrast is good. Like the contrast is big. So it means that we're now operating on a new frequency. So don't turn your back on it and fall to the old. Be more confident because you're experiencing that. It's
I just
magical.
want to say one more thing.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
one
yeah,
more thing
please.
to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
For anybody who's on this call, if you're not in her program or any part of Kathleen's world, this is my endorsement. So I went through the first year of Inner Circle and I learned a lot, but I was hungry for more because Kathleen Cameron walks faith and belief better than any other human I've ever met in my entire life. I grew up in the church. I'm a Christian. If you're a Christian, when I first started venturing into like energy, of course, people sometimes are like in the Christian world are like, ooh, don't do that. It wasn't until I dared to follow this path of Wayne Dyer and Joe Dispenza and some of these philosophers and scientists that I was able to look back at my Christian faith and go, oh, that's how you live it. So I meet Kathleen, who at the time I think you even said, like, I really wouldn't say I had God in my life. And now look at, I was listening to you. I was like, and here she is, God or no God, as she says in her life back then, living faith better than any pastor, priest, person, anybody I've ever met. She's absolute freaking magic. And I have to be as close to her as I can possibly be. It's why I paid her 2 years in a row and I'm going to pay her for a third year because I haven't reached, I can't get enough of Kathleen Cameron. That is my 100%, like you can tell my heart is bursting out of my chest as I say it. I 100% mean it. Like I love her. I love the way she sees the world. I love the way she teaches. I love just how she shows us through her own life how this works.
You're like literally bringing me to tears right now.
That's so true. And I met her through YouTube, and that's how I want people to find me, which I think in the end of the day is like the reason I fell in love with her through YouTube is so one day people are going to follow me
Oh,
through YouTube.
oh, that is so beautiful, Kim. Thank you. I didn't expect you to say any of that. I wanted you on here to share your awarenesses, and so thank you for saying that. It's really beautiful. Um, I think what's so beautiful is like the easiest way to live life is to just be yourself and to just live the truth that you know. I had a beautiful sound bath healing on Sunday, and Source said to me, "Know the truth, speak the truth, be the truth. Know the truth, speak the truth, be the truth." And Kim, your 8-figure company and impact and service out to humanity is when you fully embody that with ease. And now you know that it's not about all of the attachments the human wanted, but it's this effortless state of being. And so I show up on here and I speak to you all. I have spirit, intellectual, mind, and action written on a piece of paper in front of me. I have nothing else. And it's because I know the truth and I just speak on the knowing. So thank you for the beautiful words. I also just want to say too, you said something at the beginning. You said $1 million sounded better. Just casually. You were like, I was doing 250,000 a year and $1 million sounded better. There's a lightness in that, right? Because that sounds better. I think I would like that. It's detached. But when we think about an 8-figure business, I think I should have that. I think I should be able to do that. Why haven't I done it yet? It feels so big. It feels so hard. It feels this, and the other thing. There isn't a lightness. So I want us all to just be like, what sounds better to us? Like, what sounds better? Does 1 million sound better? Does 10 million sound better? Does 1 billion sound better? And let that be your truth. Kim, I am so grateful for you. Am I seeing you soon?
Hope so.
Yeah. Well, you're coming to Malibu, aren't you?
Oh no, because we're on our
Oh, you're on your
spring
thing.
break with my son again.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
have to set up another time then.
yes.
But I'm so grateful for you for sharing with all of us, sharing your energy and your power. If anybody wants to find Kim, find her YouTube channel. What is it? What's your YouTube channel?
Kim Daly, DALY.TV. You can find
KimDaily.tv. Yeah, because you made it like a TV show, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Kim is incredible, very, very powerful woman. And now with this new awareness, you guys better watch out.
Watch
She's
out,
coming.
baby.
Yeah, she's
Thank
coming.
you for
Thank you,
having me
thank you,
on. I
thank you,
love you.
beautiful.
Yes.
Love you. Woo! She brought me to tears. I need a tissue. Um, that was really beautiful. See what I mean about just how loving the world is? Like just how much love and support and kindness there is all around you if you choose to see it. I see the good in all people, even people that I feel, a past version of me would have felt that that person had have wronged me. I actually don't see that at all. I see understanding, I see wounding, I see healing, I see forgiveness, I see love. And that is truly the true essence of who I am. And I will often say this too, and hopefully it resonates with you. I find that my kindness isn't a weakness, it's a strength, right? My strength comes in my ability to be authentic, to be vulnerable, to really feel and to really hold space for people. So, Kim, thank you again for that beautiful, beautiful piece. I want to talk about the intellectual mind now. Do we feel that we can connect into our oneness, that we can tap into our God essence at any moment, that we can perceive God just like that? Yeah. Okay. So We want to operate on this new frequency of vibration, the $1 billion frequency. And you guys get to choose where you want to be. So I didn't start like 2019. I probably did. I had quit my nursing career halfway through the year, and then I was working in network marketing. I probably made $60,000 in 2019. That was probably my income. I was thinking about this yesterday. And then in 2020, I made 3.3 million in my business. So from 60,000 in 1 year to 3.3 1 year later, 3.3 million. What happened there? Yes, I found God. So here we are. We're going up to the higher power. I tapped into something. I would have called it universe back then. But now I understand that I can call it God if I want to. I can call it source if I want to. I can call it infinite intelligence if I want to. It doesn't matter. But the God word feels so good for me now because I had to get rid of some of the beliefs that I held that limited my ability to use it. But now I've done that. You can call it whatever you want. So I found my God essence. But then the next thing, right? The next step. So I go high and then I come down a little bit and I go into my intellectual mind. So now we ask the question, who am I? Like, who do I think I am? Right? Who is this Kathleen Cameron? Okay, so now I understand that I'm the I am. So when I mean go high, I mean go high up into your spiritual awareness, right? Your spiritual connection to the divine. That is high. It's high as in, it's not high like the sky. It's outside of, it's a lightness, let's say. How about that? Right? So we go high, we go up to spirit first. We connect to our oneness. We feel it's I am, we go there. Then we come down a little bit and we say, okay, so when the I am, the awareness of who we are, is connected to a mind. So now the soul is in a body. And now the soul is connected to a mind. And now that mind has conditioning, patterning, and programming. Right? So now, okay, now we get it. So when I say I am strong, I am weak, I am empowered, what are we now saying? We're saying the I am plus human patterning and programming that is in the intellectual mind. So now it's spirit and mindset. Spirit and mindset, right? So there's a lot of mindset teachers out there that are teaching you how to pattern and program and reprogram your mind, right? So do identity work. Go in, think new beliefs. Yes, cognitive behavioral therapy. EMDR is another way of reprogramming traumatic experiences that exist in the mind. Any PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder therapies that you do would program. NLP, yes. There's all of these different ways. Hypnosis reprograms the subconscious mind, the beliefs that are stored in the mind. But I want you to fully understand what I'm saying. I don't want you to reprogram your mind from being inside your mind. I want you to program your mind from the higher spiritual perspective. From the higher spiritual perspective, from the God perspective, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to ask, how would God see me? The creator of all things, the truth of who I am. How would God see me? What type of person would I be in and through God's eyes? From infinite potentiality, from the truth, right? So I don't want you to go, okay, what's a better belief for me to have? Okay, you know what? I want to have a really great business, so I'm going to believe that I'm a successful business owner. Okay, great. Yes, that works. But what I would rather you to do is be like, you know what? God thinks I'm as good as it gets. I'm perfect. I am made in God's image. I am a powerful creative mechanism in and itself. I'm a creator. That's even higher. See what I mean? So that's where I want you to be reprogramming the subconscious mind from your God essence, from God's eyes, from source's eyes, from infinite intelligence eyes, from the universe eyes, whatever, right? I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of sound mind. Ooh, I love that, Kayla. I love that so much. So that's to understand that we are not limited in any way. We have just fallen for the belief that we are. So your belief is actually the thing keeping you from the realization of your true potentiality, right? So to believe that you are not something keeps you from that something. To believe that you are that something integrates and fuses you with that something, right? So the only resistance that exists in all of the universe is in your beliefs. So you can believe in God. Yes, you can believe that God is all creator and almighty and all powerful and creates all things and does whatever you want. You can think that. But then you can then think to yourself that you don't have those same abilities, that you can't do that. So then here we've done separation. We've now detached ourselves from our creative mechanism. And it's not sitting here and saying that we are the creators. It's that we are co-creating, right? So the I am is the awareness of who we are. When we add patterning and programming, we now add words. We now add the conditioning, right? So awareness plus conditioning creates reality. What is reality? Reality is what our human would observe and then make real because we believe in it. So I'll give you a little example of this. I was sitting here watching the sunset when I was in Grand Cayman with my family, and it was, the tail end of the year of the snake and the year of the fire horse was coming up, and we were very much in this energy of preparing for this fire horse energy. And I look out at watching the sunset, and I look out, and there's this beautiful cloud that comes over the sun, and it covers the sun that's setting. And I look, and it's a horse. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a horse in the clouds. Wowzers. And so here I am having my human believe that it's perceiving a horse, which means this is a sign from God showing me that I'm on the right path and to really pay attention and all of those things. And so I posted to my story and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what do you see? Sort of thing. And there was a bunch of people that said they saw a dog. And then there was somebody else that said they saw a lamb. Somebody thought it looked like a goat. And so it was just so interesting because what's the truth? Was it a dog? Was it a horse? Was it a goat? Well, what I understand and know to be true is that I get to decide what it was. Because I create my reality based on my perception of reality. I make it true because I want to make it true. So the story that I'm telling is I just saw a horse in the clouds. God spoke to me through the horse in the clouds. This is my year. It is all happening. It is all coming together. I am her. God told me. So, what's the energy I'm in? Empowerment. My source energy is full. My lighthouse is like being sent out like magic. I'm inspired. I am lit up. Somebody just put the picture in the chat. How did you do that? I don't need to understand. Okay, it's fine. I love this. Anyway, it's in the chat. You can see it in the chat. Picture of my story. Anyways, so I created a sense of reality, told myself a story, made that story real and true, and now my life is exploding. Everything I want is coming. It's all coming together. Like manifestations that were kind of on hold are now popping back up to me. Things are just moving easily and effortlessly because of a story I told about reality that I chose to have. Right? So nothing is real. It's we make it real by believing in it. And the belief in it creates it. And that's what I want you to really understand here. Belief precedes manifestation. It means belief comes before manifestation comes. So the belief that Kim has that she's an 8-figure entrepreneur, it is inevitable that she's an 8-figure entrepreneur. She will observe it in her reality because she believes it. She knows it to be true. And now she's just dropped all resistance. That's what she did. The big awareness that she had, she dropped all resistance to the idea. So now she's in energetic alignment. She's on the frequency. It is her reality and her truth. So now all she does is sit in joyful expectation of its observation. Okay. So what you believe creates the fact, and your belief in it creates it. But unfortunately, what has happened is many of us, over years and years of living life, have learned over time that you are not good enough, you are not worthy enough, you do not know enough, you don't have enough money, the color of your skin isn't the right color, you didn't grow up in the right city, your gender isn't right. Maybe it's you think that you have a big belly and the big belly is a bad thing and it's not going to help you. All of these were absolute lies that you bought into, and you then made them real and true in your outer world. Let me give you an example. Personal. This is a personal example. Okay. So some point in my life when I was a young girl, and I had put extra weight onto my body. I don't even want to say extra. Like, who says it's extra? But anyway, I was curvy and voluptuous. There was an abundance of me, okay? And somewhere along the line, somebody said something bad to me. They said, you've put on too much weight. You should go on a diet. You shouldn't eat this pizza. You should go to Jenny Craig. You're fat. You're ugly, whatever, right? So I heard that and I accepted it. I accepted it as true. I started to believe in it. And then the more people say it, the more I believe in it. And then it became true. So I made it my reality. So every single year up until age 37, so from 6 or 7 years old to 37, so 30 years, every year on my birthday, I put a candle in the cake and I blew it out. My wish was, I wish I was skinny. For 30 years, I wished that. I wish I was skinny. Why did I wish that? Because I believed it was wrong to be who I was. Not the world believed it was wrong. I believed it was wrong. And so that belief created the fact. So then I walked around life believing I was broken, I was flawed, nobody liked me, I wasn't beautiful. So I made my magnet very, very small. I dimmed my own light. And so I was the girl that no boys ever liked. I was the girl that never had the dates to the dances. I was the girl that always chose the ugly duckling in the group because I was the ugly duckling in the group, right? I I was the one that never had a boyfriend. All my friends all had boyfriends and all this kind of stuff. So, so interesting, right? That I believed that about myself and my outer world matched it. People made fun of me. People said nasty things to me. Let's move to age 37 now. I get into this work. I start looking at myself. I go deeper. And I start to ask the question, why do I think being fat is wrong? Like, according to who? According to who? Who said that? Is this idea of being fat wrong all over the world? Is this a truth that fat is bad, fat is ugly, fat is wrong, fat is unhealthy? Is that real and is that true? Well, I went to Jamaica and I can tell you it's not true. Okay. So that was my first little sign of like, huh, well, this is really interesting. I'm getting a different type of attention when I go to a different country. So that means that this isn't true everywhere. And then I started to ask myself, okay, are there other women out in the world that are in plus size, curvy, fat bodies who love themselves? Is there women out there that are curvy and voluptuous and who are proud of it? Who have really amazing lives, that are making a lot of money, that are achieving, that have big followings on social media. And guess what? Yeah, there's a lot. So I started to find the evidence all around me. I started to find the evidence all around me of all of the beautiful, successful people that were in fat bodies. And you know what I realized? What I believed about myself was a lie. It was a lie the entire time. I believed it. I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, and I lived my life according to that belief. So at 37 years old, I decided to no longer believe that fat was wrong or bad. And I decided to go out into the world proud of who I am, to love myself, to love my body, to love my curves, to love all of my fat. And I made $18 million in a 320-pound body. because I let go of that belief. And so now today, I love myself no matter what my body looks like. I've released a lot of weight from my body, yes, because I'm in my true essence, because I'm healthy, because I love myself. And so it all came off. What was no longer required or needed, right? It all came off. And still to this day, I'm still 210 pounds. And I love my body. I love my vessel. I love the way it looks. My personal trainer, I said, I don't want to shrink at all. I don't want to get smaller. I want to keep these curves. I love them. And so guess what? The rest of the world responds to it. And you guys tell me you're looking more stunning every day, Kathleen. Well, it's because I'm tapping into my truth every day. The more I empower myself, the more my light shines, the more my true, authentic nature comes in. And so you guys aren't seeing my beauty, you're feeling it. You're feeling self-love, you're feeling confidence, you're feeling the power of a woman who is unapologetic and who loves herself. And so, yeah, it might look like blue eyes and cheekbones, whatever, but it's not. You're feeling who I am. And it's because I'm being honest and true, and I'm really, really authentic with myself. So that's where I want all of you now, from your spiritual essence, to ask yourself, who do I think I am? And is it the most empowered way with which I can see myself? Is it the most empowered way with which I can see myself? So if I saw myself through God's eyes, what would I see? I would see all love, grace, happiness, beauty, empowerment, right? I would see all of those things. So, where in you do you think you are flawed? Where in you do you think you are less than? Where in you do you think you are a victim? Where do you think that you have circumstances in your life that limit you? So I'm not going to tell you that things like sexism and racism and what do you call like homophobia? What would that be? Anyways, those things exist in the outer world, but they don't need to exist in your consciousness, right? So I'll never forget I had a job when I was in university and I was making $13 an hour doing this summer job in university. And this other male university student was doing the same job as me and he was making 17 bucks an hour and I was making 13. And I'm like, what did you do to get $4 extra an hour? He didn't have any more education or anything. Like we were the same. We were both university students doing the exact same job and he got paid $4 more an hour. And so it exists out in the world, but it will only exist if you continue to see it and make it real. So I could have believed that men make more money, men are more successful, men get compensated more. Let me tell you something, I make a lot more money than a lot of men because I let go of that. I don't believe that. I do not believe that that exists in my reality for me, right? So, what can you let go of and not make real? Anything that disempowers you is not truth. If you feel like you're being victimized or you're being limited or somebody is holding you back, drop that belief. Effective immediately. I want you to be the brightest light that you can possibly be. Any belief that says that you are less than is dimming your light. Any belief that says that your IQ isn't good enough or you don't have enough money or you're too old, stop it. It is not true because the truth is you are the creator. You are one with the creator. Your potentiality is completely limitless, absolutely limitless. So if you were limitless, what would you believe about yourself? I It's so cute. I started using this word icon. I'm like, you know what? I'm an icon. Like, what if I really believed I'm an icon? I'm iconic. Like outside of the norm, outside of the average. Like, what would it be to be iconic? And then I'm like, okay, how can I be more iconic today? Just kind of playing around with this idea. And the lipstick that I chose to use today is called Icon, baby. So I picked it up and I put it on, and then I looked at it and I went, oh, which one is this? And it's called Icon, baby. And the International Association of Top Professionals just gave me an award, and it's Global Icon of the Year. Come on. Just because I started to play around with the use of a word, right? I'm also playing around with mogul. You know, I'm a mogul. I love this. But we don't need to take it so serious. But what I do want you to take serious is the negative self-talk. Do not speak down to yourself in any way. We had a beautiful question on the Millionaire Program, and I want to share my the way in which I explained this answer. I want to share it to all of you so you can really feel the difference. So somebody asked me once, "What does it feel like to love yourself, Kathleen?" And I was like, okay, because they said, his name was Jose. He was a member of our community. He was in my inner circle. Incredible, incredible man. And he said to me, I don't hate myself. Like, I'm not talking bad about myself. Like, I'm not like sitting here going, oh, you suck, Jose. You're terrible. I don't like you. But he's like, but I feel just kind of complacent about myself. Like, I just am. And I was like, okay. So he's like, so what does it feel like to love yourself? I want to be able to tap into it. So then I went like this. Okay, Jose. I have these two little ladies in my life. Okay, I have two daughters. They're Mason and Reagan. They're 11 and 13. They are the most beautiful, incredible, loving, smart, powerful women, little girls that I have ever met in my life. I love them to their bones. Being in their presence makes me happy. I cannot wait to be around them. I can't wait to hug them and cuddle up with them. And I want nothing more than for them to feel my love every single moment of their lives. Okay? So this is true love I have for these two. And you know what? That's how I feel about me. I love being in my own presence. I love who I am. I would not want to be anybody else. I love being with myself. I love thinking of myself. I love perfecting myself. I can't wait to just cuddle myself at night. Like, I truly love myself in the same way, and I tell myself how much I love myself on a regular basis. So, this is this is it. Like, I don't want you to just think you're okay. Like, I want you to love yourself so much that you don't want to be anybody else. I always wanted to be her. Who was her? I don't know. The girl that looked prettier or was thinner or had a good boyfriend. I don't know. I always wanted to be her. I never wanted to be me. I always wished to be somebody else. But I don't want to be anybody else right now. I want to be me. Because being me is so magical and beautiful. And God wanted me to be me. Why would I try to be anybody else? Right? Why would I try to be anybody else? And so I also want to honor that sometimes there's a feeling that you might hold in yourself like you really don't like yourself. And it's a very real feeling. I've had it in my life. And you might have had this feeling so much so that you have thought about what would it be like to not be here anymore, to end this life, to leave. I've had that. I've had suicidal thoughts in my life and started to create a plan of how to get out of this life because it seemed easier and the world would be better off without me, right? Our mind plays these tricks on us. But I saw a reel probably a month ago, and I sent it to Chris because I had to. So Chris is the father of those two beautiful ladies I just told you about. And I sent it to Chris because this reel said something along the lines, and I'm just going to basically sum it up. What if the feeling that you don't like yourself, or the feeling of ending it all, or escaping, or leaving this earth, what if it actually isn't suicidal thoughts at all or suicidal ideation, but what if it's actually a call to rise? What if it's actually a desire to re reincarnate or to rebirth? What if it's actually a desire to rise in consciousness? What if it's actually just the old you saying, I'm done with this version of you. It's time to be a new one. Yeah. And I thought that was the most beautiful, freeing, loving thought that I ever had. So if you are being hard on yourself, and if you are disliking yourself, and you are feeling like maybe you want to escape or you want to leave, or maybe, you know, you can only, death is the only way out. If that's you, if you're listening to this and you're hearing this, what if it's not? What if it's a call for a rebirth? And what if it's the old version of you that's ready to die, to rise into the new you? And finding me, finding Diamond Academy, finding my team, finding the YouTube channel. Is your soul calling you down that path where the light, where the hope, where the beginning of your rebirth? So remember what I said. What if this is the moment that you were created for? What if this is the moment that you are created for? It's a really, really beautiful, magical thought. Yeah. And so it's just a reframe for you to know it's normal. All of us feel that way, but let's really allow ourselves to rise into this beautiful, beautiful versions of ourselves. Yeah. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to talk a little bit more about identity and how identity operates on a frequency, okay, and how we can get onto that frequency. And then I'm going to talk about action and what it means to fully embody. So to move spiritual essence and new intellectual empowering beliefs into the body. And that's the action piece. So that's the integration of all three different layers or parts of us. And there's more nuances here. Highly spiritual people will say, well, there's more than one spiritual plane, Kathleen. Okay, that's fine, but we only have 4 hours and we don't have 4 years to go into the depth of what really exists. So I'm really keeping it super, super simple and super clear so that our humans can fully get it and grasp it and move the energy. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. I'm also tomorrow going to announce the person that's going to have the business frequency reset with me, the call. And so make sure that you come on again live with us tomorrow. Let me know if you are coming back in the comments and in the chat. Tell me. And if you're on the YouTube channel too, we can't tell if you're watching on the YouTube channel unless you comment. So please, if you're on the YouTube channel, comment, let us know that you are here, let us know that you are coming back, and then tomorrow we will call that. Okay, before we go to our final song, we always end with a song. Before we go to that final song, I want to give you a little bit of homework, okay? So what I've just done with you for the past 2 hours is I have reminded you of your truth. I have reminded you of your power, your true essence. I have elevated you. I have raised your frequency of vibration. I have raised your beliefs. I have reminded you of who you are. And many of you are going to experience a lot of feelings and emotions. And I guarantee you, you feel very different right now than you did 2 hours ago. Okay? So the way in which we want to solidify this immersive experience is to make sure that we're super, super clear on what just happened because we want to replicate it. So take a little bit of notes, journal a little bit on how you feel different and what was the catalyst that made you feel different. Was it remembering your truth? Was it becoming aware of beliefs? Whatever that was. But I want you to tap into the feeling of how you now feel. This is going to be a more empowered version of you, inspired version of you, a less limited version of you. This is more in line with the truth than who you probably were yesterday. So please just write that out because I want to solidify it into the belief system. And then what I would love for those that are bold and daring enough, I want you to share it. So share that on your social media platforms, share it in my Manifested with Kathleen Cameron Facebook group, and tag me. I want to see you identify the difference in how you feel. So it could just be, I now feel da 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 da, and tag me in it. Like I feel empowered like never before about my service, Melinda. So do a little bit of post about, I've never felt more empowered about the service that I offer, and these are the reasons why, on your social media platform. The people, the audience that follow you, your magnet is different right now. And so that's why I'm getting you to post, is because I want you to show up as that version of you that is empowered. So if you're not on social, don't worry about it. But But I would love for you to show up that way. Show up in the feeling of the truth of who you are. And tag me, please, Kathleen Cameron Manifests on Facebook, whatever. But I would love to see it. So I will be waiting and watching for each of you to do that. Yes, the replay is going to be available on the YouTube channel, like right now. You can watch it, and we will email the replay out as well. And on the replay email, there's a spot for you to book your time to speak to my team as well. So if you're somebody that is really, really energetically feeling in alignment with this elevation and you want to go further, you can book a call with the team to talk about your options. Okay. I love you all so much. We are going to listen to a beautiful song. So I really want us to feel the feeling through music of what I'm trying to convey through the teachings. And so this song that Jen is going to play, I think it's called, oh, hold on, something command. Hold on. Where did I send that to you, Jen? Because the people on the YouTube channel aren't going to get it. I Don't Ask, I Command by Good Vibes Tribe. So if you are on the YouTube channel, we can't stream the song because we don't have the rights. So just go to your Apple Music or your Spotify and play I Don't Ask, I Command Good Vibes Tribe. And just allow yourself to really feel the power in this song and listen to the words. It's a lot of what I said. It's so good. So let's listen to it together. I'll see you all tomorrow. And then I have a beautiful announcement of something special tomorrow too. So we'll see you there. Okay, take it away, Jen.